Hi, this is Colorful Foresight, where we intuitively connect from within. And it's woo woo time, where we connect our woo woo into our mundane living. Hi, how are you? This is Sylvia of Colorful Foresight. And today's topic is your good news effect. What does that mean? By the way, for your entertainment purposes only. If you saw the previous ad, it had with Septina, but she's a little under the weather, so it's just you and me. So what does your good news affect? What does that mean? Please put on your intuition hat too. Well, first of all, we have a lot of reality check news. So it's not like we're spiritual bypassing pretending. We got a lot of the fake news, but we got more of the reality check. But what happened is all the good news fall back. And this is why, especially important now, and especially before 2024, to also post about the good news. And it's going to be non-political because it's on current event. Because sometimes I do political enlightenment, sometimes current event. So one example I'm going to share, by the way, if you come on or you're watching this afterward, please put in a comment, share some good news. Maybe I'll do this once a month. So your good news effect. Let's shuffle a card just for the visual. Or if you're intuitive, you could just use that. Let's see what the visual of a card that could be about how we matter. I mean, that whole argument with Black Lives Matter and All Night Matters, which one's right? Both. That's what it comes down to it. It's all the same, right? So how we matter, how you matter. And so let's do what card will pop out that had to do with your good news effect. Please pop out. Ooh, okay. Interestingly enough, the Queen of Wands. In this particular card from the Life There with Chris Ann, this Queen of Wands, it's like a person who's making things happen. Just putting that mustard seed out there. That's all it. Planting the mustard seed. That's all we need to do to mention it. So I got one that I could show. Let me see if we can screen share this. So we're going to screen share. Okay, this is about this guy who created trash out of the ocean. Remember the plastic, right? A lot of people complained about the plastic, but a lot of stores, I know in other countries outside the U.S., they're more mindful with that. But in the U.S., we're already seeing stores like grocery store taking out plastic. That's a positive. That's the start. Also, there's products where you can reuse a plastic-like container to hold food. But also, as we continue to do that, there are groups out there that created this machine to pick up all the trash out of the ocean. So let me share with you one of them. So here's an example. It's from this group called the Ocean Cleaner. And so they have this machine to pick it up. And look what happened. No, that's not what it's supposed to show us. So you get the idea. Um, you get the idea. So what's interesting while I shuffle the card, here the moon. The moon is like the ocean. You know, what under the ocean. We may not see it like as though it's above, but it doesn't mean it's not there. You know, these are the concerns we have with the Nine of Swords, like what we're doing to the planet Earth. Also, how the ocean are feeling. How are they feeling with warmer water, right? The fish, how they're feeling in that. So people are creating solutions. The magician, see, wielding it power. So that is great. That's an example of good news. So can you think of any? And I want you, if you're not shy, to do a video with me on this for next time, maybe next month. So there's another. You may see on Instagram is another example where people have positive news and they show like the good of humanity again because we forget sometimes, you know, but there is a lot of that still going on. So here's another example of that I'm going to screen share. David Byrne, I forgot, but Septina mentioned he created Reason to Be Cheerful, and they have all these kind of different news. So since we're live, I figured I'll randomly check which news for us to check, and it would be what you needed to hear. So let's see. Hopefully the screen share will come on for that. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so here we have Reason to Be Cheerful, right? Reason to Be Cheerful.world. Okay, so category. So which one should we choose? What am I feeling? We did the climate. Let's do farm and food. Okay, what is good that we can know about? They have Napa Vineyard are pairing wine with fish-friendly farming, an ancient desert, blah, blah, blah. How farmer used California flood to revive underground aquifer. Interesting. Let's see what that is about. Farm designed to recharge groundwater are answering the state's additional question. How do you make sure devastating rainfall doesn't go to waste? So let's see. So it looks like they are able to reuse it when it's really dry. Under California's system, farms that take on excess water to recharge aquifers can extract additional water from those aquifers during dry period. So what is the aquifer though? Okay, so the growing number of farms that's helping to replenish overdrawn aquifers by flooding their orchards and fields with excess stormwater during wet season and let it soak into the ground. We're going to treat this aquifer like a bank. Every year, this is according to the Almond Board of California, every year that I can put water in, I'm going to put in. And then every year that I need as emergency backup to take out, I'm going to take out. But I'm going to watch what I take out to make sure it balances out what I can put during the wet years. So I get to have a system We've been pumping water out of ground as if it was an infinite resource and using it during dry periods to substitute for surface water. What that's doing is putting more and more pressure on groundwater pumping to the point that groundwater is now becoming a stake resources as well. Okay. So it looks like, this would be great for like climate change and things like that because there is going to be more rain because of warmer weather. And so that means there's going to be more dryness. So that's a great solution. So let's shuffle some cards, what that would look like, where people are resourceful, making the bad environment into a positive. One thing that comes to mind is during the pandemic, which is awful, but because of that, people were indoors, right? And because of that, a lot of scientists were able to see how water were able to clear up fairly quickly. They were clearing up. They also said maybe because the ocean would, a lot of the pollution went down to the bottom, but the water that was polluted were becoming clear. And they noticed the air quality. So from that, they're learning new things from that. So hopefully that's part of the solution. So what is the card of solution? I would like to know. Are you curious? What did that look like? Solution card, please pop out. Well, this doesn't look like a solution card. But you know what's interesting? Them showing us the Eight of Swords. What is great about, even when we're using our intuition, we may have ideas what the right answer is, right? Or the accurate answer is. So if I went with this card popping out, I'd be like, how the Eight of Swords is about solution? Well, using this image particularly, could each tarot card or oracle card have different image? You utilize the image as well. Here, the Eight of Swords is somebody who had they're mentally blocking themselves, programming, but in reality, they're not bind. She's looking at the mirror, and look, she's mentally bound to all these shadows using the crows that talking to her. But in here, so you could use this person as bad news, right? Just focusing on the negative, even the reality check. But then you have this other side that's of solution. So it's more of a visual thing in this case. So let's see what else we can add. What does the solution look like when we're focusing and nurturing that energy? We got to balance that out. And tell me what you like about this video. And should we do more positive news? So here we go. The Knight of Swords. It's like a fast energy. You could run to the solution. There's just so many, but people are not taking up on it. Look at this guy running to the motorcycle. I also use this card as the runner card, running away from the bad news. But instead, we should utilize the bad news and come with solution and actually do it. Because a lot of the climate change situation, people just feel overwhelmed, right? So they just avoid it. Or we're too busy, or we're too selfish, yada, yada, yada. So what else? Should we have more good news? So let's see. So we did the ocean one, the card, and we did the aquifer. Seems like they were holding water for when it needs to be used. So they're doing that everywhere, not just in California. The Fool, like going into the unknown. So coming up with all these different solutions. This person is just taking a leap, right? What else? Well, the Ten of Pentacles, living the good life, being prosperous. There's the Ten of Cups, which is good life too, but this is physical. The coins are physical aspect. The pentacle are physical aspect. By the way, twice a month, I'm going to do at 1 o'clock Eastern, which is 12 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Mountain, and then 10 Pacific. So twice a month, one could be political alignment, and one is current event. On a Saturday, one Sunday, and then twice a month live on Thursday night. So you have more than, you know, you have more, you could save those time to come and interact with me. So I'm asking Spirit what we need to know next, because this is a collective reading and it's about you. It's about you. I hope you know that with Colorful Foresight. Eight of Pentacles, slowly but surely with solution, like the person looking at the candle, thinking of solution and actually creating action. One thing to talk about it, but to create the action. Just sowing the mustard seeds, during small talk, mention things like that. People complain about the weather, they complain about the environment. So I guess if I was in a situation like that where people talking badly about the environment, I can mention the plastic thing with the ocean. So can you. Or the California thing. Usually, the thing with me, I don't have like the best. You know how you have some people have very great memory and they could tell Pacific, but my spirit guides like just mention it casually. You're throwing that mustard seed out there, and then listen. Somebody else may know, and if they're not interested, they rather focus on the negative news. Just sit there, smile, get yourself a drink, go somewhere else. So what is the offering? The Knight of Cups offering you the solution, but are we taking it? Can we handle the knight in shining armor? Is that the right word? Can we handle it? It's like too good to be true. A lot of times people be like, yeah, but I want that good to be true stuff, and I go for that. But then I get a reality check. Sure, there's that, but there's also like, can we handle when things are good to be true? We're so much in the fight or flight scenario. It might even seem boring to some people. Is good news boring to some people? Like I watch political intuitives who do political readings. They've been helping me keep calm during the last few years. But if I mention political enlightenment, people are bored because it's not because it's boring. It's just like when you have a president who calm versus who create chaos. We get drawn to the chaos because even though it seems like we like the drama, it's really our body trying to prepare to come up with a solution or like see what we could do. You know what I mean? It's like that. But when things are calm, you rather focus in the moment, whatever. Doesn't And that's good too. But we have to balance that out, make our body, whatever that looks like. I have no idea. I'm not teaching about that. So what I'm getting is to show another good news. So we're going to go back into, what was that? Good to be good. Oh, hold on. La la la. This is live. Live. Good news. Good news. I'm typing in David Byrne. We're going back to that channel. What was it? Oh, reason to be cheerful. Yeah. Reason to be cheerful. That's what we want. Reason to be cheerful. Absolutely. I'm going to look up on that card. What did you get? What would be the card of reason to be cheerful? So here we are. Now I'm going to screen share. Well, let's do, what is the card for reason to be cheerful? Let's get the visual, what that looks like. Whatever pops out, I'm going to trust it. Okay. Ace of Wands. It's a passion card. It's a fire element. It's movement. The reason to be cheerful just in itself is about movement and progress. So that's why you would want to do that, just because of that. It's moving from an old stagnant energy into a new. Just bringing that topic up, the mustard seed. That's the energy that's moving. That makes sense. I never thought of it that way. So now we're going to bring up a screen share. Let's pick another topic. Here we go. So here we got davidbyrne.com, explore reason to be cheerful. Let's see, explore. What we're going to explore, what topic? Oh, let me see. wonder if reason to be cheerful. Here we go. No, it's reason to be cheerful. Dot world. Okay. So we did the climate environment. We did the farm and food. Let's do science and tech. That should be interesting. Okay. Could product made of CO2 help cool the planet? Ooh, interesting. Should we protect children or privacy? The cool product made of CO help cool the planet. The growing carbon tech industry is capturing CO2 from the air, turning into everything from broad to vodka to free to fresh baked bread. Interesting. Um, let's see what else. Protecting insects habitat is saving multitudes. Wow, look at this one. Meet the detective solving crime against trees. Really? All right. Let's see. Anyway, you can sign up the newsletter here. Crushed by negative news. Sign up the reason to be cheerful newsletter. Let's see. Colorful Foresight at gmail.com. There was an error. All right. We'll deal with it later. So I'm going to science and tech. So, okay. Let's do that. The growing carbon tech industry capturing CO2 from the air and turning it into everything from broad to vodka to fresh baked bread. So how is that possible? So CO2 is the main culprit in global warming, in part because it is virtually impossible to produce almost any product without releasing carbon dioxide. But what if product could create from CO2 instead of releasing it? Created from CO2. Oh, created. So a lot of that carbon monoxide we have, carbon dioxide in the air, we could release it. Wait. Okay, let's see. So they have used carbon dioxide to carbonate our drink, fertilize our tomatoes, and make our cosmetic. This is cutting edge. Let's see. We make food from air. A Finnish visionary, Patti Vainka project sound like a science fiction. Interesting. So what else? Mattress stocks and broad fossil fuel in the form of plastic are in virtually every manufactured product, but captured carbon dioxide can use as a building block for many of these instead. So they create socks from that. The material had been used to create world first subfloor made from carbon dioxide at a recently opened hockey facility in Germany. Interesting. Diamond, which I'm going to scroll forward. Vodka. Wow, a young New York startup offered the chance to do some emission free. The vodka from Air Company only had two ingredients, carbon dioxide and water. Or as the website puts it, only air, water, and sun. Typically, alcohol is distilled from fermenting fruit or grain. So, so he refused to spill the recipe, of course, for prosperity reason, but the production process essentially used solar energy to transform carbon dioxide into pure ethanol. not unlike the way plants use photosynthetic to turn carbon dioxide into food. The patent has won award from NASA and the United Nations. Our vodka is even purer than conventional vodka because it has no contamination or byproducts from grain. Ooh, who knew? Interesting. Wow, that's cool. So, let's see. That's really miraculous, all those creative ways that, I mean, it makes sense. The universe is so infinite in nature. You would think that there's just things out there that we don't know. Just like supposedly we have DNA junk. What is it? Like only 10% we know, and then the rest junk. But is it really junk, or is it just the unknown? And then every day we explore further and further. So staying within and not being able to see outside a box keep us blocked, keep us stagnant like the hangman, just hanging on, not moving, unless you hang enough where you start getting ideas and you start utilizing. That's when epiphany comes, enlightenment, and all that jazz. If we tune in within and listen to our intuition, create intention, and then the universe will give you insight. You think it may even think it's your own imagination, but it's likely from something higher than us. So what else? Let's do what's the card for vodka? I'm curious. But not the vodka the old way, the vodka the good way, where it's more pure. So what would that look like? Because the vodka the old way would be something like the devil card, or even the Seven of Cups, which is like addiction, illusionary stuff, what vodka could do, alcohol, drinks, Nine of Cups. So what vodka that pure look like? Ten of Sword. Ten of Sword is like a bad thing. I think vodka is just never good. Alcohol is never good. Ten of Sword. It's like somebody who's been stabbed in the back. But in this card, in this particular deck, is somebody after a bad time is able to grow and learn and look at the brighter things. Hence, you see this woman walk into a sunset, like at the new day begin. So even though vodka is still alcohol, I guess you could still look in a new day with it. So maybe in context of helping carbon dioxide, it's like, what we have done to our planet, a really bad thing. It's like killing ourselves, like the Ten of Swords. Like what are the harm that we've done to ourselves? But looking at a new day. So vodka just an example of looking at a new day. I guess it didn't want to say it was good or bad. So it showed a scenario instead. So what was the other thing? The socks, right? So that's good for the environment, right? It could let carbon dioxide. So what I'm getting is that it's just better for the environment. I wonder if we could also create, I get carbon dioxide and everything, right? But like create technology, or there's ways to create where we don't have to produce so much of that. I think they're even finding that out with animals, especially cows that produce. Okay, Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Two queens. Ooh. I'm getting two scientists, and women particularly, even though we get a lot of men, are really going to be helping with in context of like the environment. Here you got one for the water. Okay, maybe just like besides that, but also we just did in the beginning of the video, how we utilize water better, how we produce, how we treat our water better, like the ocean thing that I showed in the beginning, which is the cup, the water family. Then the pentacle, the coins, about the earth. Now we're learning about how we could not only do things, or there's already tools to do better for the planet Earth, physical, but also utilizing pollution and somehow being able to change it around. Kind of like, what was it? I think there were the dumpster issues, like dumping a lot of stuff. So people created mushroom, and the mushroom was able to create eat away the dumpster and create this kind of good earthy soil or something like that. Kind of like that that's coming about. So what else before we close this video? Sunday. Today's Sunday. I know today's a family day, summertime. I'm still enjoying this month. So one last thing. Okay, 7 of Cups. So going back to why your news, your good news effect matters. Put your intuition and listen to all the insight, like the 7 Cup. What are they listening to? Are you listening to the bad news? Are you listening to all the mixed messages? Or are we also listening to the good news? Also, maybe you'll be that person to create some solution. What can we do with this itty bitty person? Well, you must belong to some industry. There's something you must be doing well, but how? Ask your higher self the benevolent outcome and tell them, think of something that you would like, or just ask. If I don't know at all, I'd be like, well, give me some insights, give me some intuition. Sometimes it comes through universal intelligence, speaking through artificial intelligence. I see the right video, hear the right music, blah, blah, blah. But also may show up in many other ways I haven't thought of. Maybe I meet somebody today and they mention a great topic, and then I can explore from there. So let's go. How your good news affect it greatly, greatly. Going from confusion to doing better things for the planet and for humanity as a whole. So let me know what you thought. It'd be interesting.